Yeah, hello everyone, and welcome to another day. So I just thought I'd make a short video, like the title suggests, the first and the last. Okay, so let's just get into it. Let's read first of all. Let's read from Luke chapter 13, verse 22. I'll just read that. Okay, it says, "Then Jesus went through the towns and the villages, teaching as he made his way to Jerusalem. It says someone asked him, 'Lord, are only a few people going to be saved? Is it only a few people that are going to be saved?' And he said to them, 'Make every effort,' very important, 'make every effort to enter through the narrow door.' He says, 'Because many, I tell you, many will try to enter and will not be able to.' He says, 'Once the owner of the house gets up and closes the door, you will stand outside knocking and pleading, 'Sir, please open the door for us.' But he will answer, 'I do not know you or where you come from.' He says, 'Then you will say, we ate and drank with you and you taught in our streets.' He says, but he will reply, 'I do not know you or where you come from. Away from me, all you evildoers.' Then he says, 'There will be weeping and gnashing of teeth.'" That's a direct quote from the book of Isaiah. He says, "When you see Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom of God, but you yourselves thrown out." He says, "People will come from east and west and north and south and will take their places at the feast in the kingdom of God." He says, "Indeed, there are those who are last who will be first, and those who are first who will be last." Now, I know that for most of us, we've had a hard time trying to understand the statement when he says that the first shall be last and the last shall be first. That one I know because I've also been there. Okay, and then also when we read in the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 8, what does he say? He says, "I am the first and the last, the beginning and the end," right? That's what he says. But what does he actually mean when he says he is the first and the last? You understand? Or there are those who are last who will be first, and those who are first who will be last. If you read the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, it says something there. It says, "Looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith." It says that is the beginning and end of our faith, the first and last of our faith. That's what it means. When it says looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, the start of our faith and the end of our faith, the beginning of our faith, and end, the first and last of our faith. That's just basically what it means. Now, the reason I'm making this video is just to try to help you understand. But first of all, these videos we do not make them from an academic standpoint, okay? We do not make them from an academic point of view. No, because the flesh profits nothing. No, it is the spirit that gives life. We make them from a faith-based point of view because we walk by faith, not by sight, right? Just as it is written, it says the just shall live by faith. And then also, of course, it also says in Hebrews 11:6 that without faith it is impossible to please God. It says, "For whoever comes to him must believe that he exists, must believe that he exists, number one, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him." So what we are doing now is not only diligently seeking him, okay, but apart from that, we also know that he does exist, yes, in meaning he is, and he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. So bottom line, what am I trying to say? To help you understand, I'll give you the context from another perspective. If you look at the Muslim faith in the world, there's one word they always say. They always say that Muhammad is the last prophet. Okay, that's what they always say, that he's the last prophet. Jesus, using those words, bringing his message and using those words saying that he is the first and the last. I'll just tell you what it basically means. He is the first from God. Okay, the true God now, the Father and the Mother, he is the first from them and he is the last from them. That's the way it is. But when we now go back to the book of Luke, what we read in Luke, when he says, "Many who are last shall be first, and many who are first shall be last." Let me just help you understand in context of the words which we are speaking. He came, right, with a message from the true God to set the captives free. He is the first of that message and he is the last of that message, meaning that apart from him, we can do nothing. Apart from him, outside of him, there is no message from the true God. That's what it means. So we are all in him being the head and we are the body. Because when we come out and we preach Christ, Okay, we are still preaching and affirming the message that he brought into this world. So when he says many who are last will be first and many who are first will be last, okay, he is the first and the last of this message. So we are all in him, the first and the last of the whole message. That's just what it means when he says, I am the first and the last. He's the first and the last to bring forth the word of the true God into this world. Why? Because like I always say in most of our other videos, prior to Jesus coming, no one ever knew who the true God was. That's the truth. Yes, the prophets gave out messages from angels, messengers who were sent. Yeah, but they didn't even know who they were speaking to or who was speaking to them. Even when the messengers from Yahweh would come and talk to them, yeah, they'll still put it out thinking that it's the word from the true God. So that's it. So you can't even blame them for that. Like I always say, they're exonerated from that. You understand? So when Jesus says that I am the first and the last, he is the first and the last with the message from the true God. Any spirit that does not account or accept, okay, or proclaim that Jesus Christ has been raised up from the dead back in the flesh, that is the spirit of the Antichrist. And that is the truth. So when you look at the other faith, which I mentioned earlier, when they say their prophet is the last prophet, that is a lie, because that is in direct conflict with the words that Jesus said. Jesus himself said he is the first and he is the last. Yeah, so if any other person, so when Paul says to the Galatians, says even if we or an angel from heaven comes and preaches to you a gospel other than that which you receive from us, says let him be eternally condemned. Let him be anathema maranatha. That's what Paul says, and Paul was right putting a curse on that. Not only on the men who will do those things, but also on the spirits that will use those men to bring those words out into the world, just like we have. That's why we have so much chaos in the world today. But anyway, I just thought I'll let you know. So when it says that Jesus is the first and the last, he's the first from the true God to bring the true word into this world, and he is the last prophet, the last apostle, and the only high priest, okay, that can be talked about to reach the true God. So when he says in John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life, no one comes unto the Father but by me, he is right. That's the truth. So even if myself, any day I come here and I preach a gospel that does not center or focus on Jesus as the high priest of God, of the true God now, not of Yahweh, or I tell you a different gospel that does not proclaim that Jesus Christ has been raised from the dead, is ascended to heaven, and is seated at the right hand of God, do not listen to me. That's the truth. And then that means I put myself under a curse. So I just thought I'd make this very short video just to get the word out there, just to help you understand when you read, oh, I'm the first and the last. That's exactly what he means. He is the way, the truth, and the life. No one can come to God except through him. And when I say God, I mean the pair, the father and the mother. No one can come to them except through him. And he is the first to proclaim the message, and he is the last to proclaim the message. But we are in him. In him, we are proclaiming that same message that he brought. We are just carrying the mantle, passing it from one generation to another. So we are all in him, the first and the last of us. That's just what it is, okay? So I just thought I'd make this short video and put it out there. And then hopefully I'll get back to you guys again soon. And I'll see you again soon. God bless you. Stay blessed and have a wonderful week ahead. Ciao. Bye-bye then. Yep.